Peace, 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 family. How we doing out there? How we doing out there? Wealthy rising to the West Coast. Good afternoon to the Midwest and the East Coast. How's everybody feeling out there? See, we got a nice little dip in the market. Nice little dip in the market. Beautiful dip. Something that you want to take advantage of. Something that I'm going to take advantage of. Right? Remember, we just had that talk about mining gold. Remember, we just had that talk about mining gold, right? That's something that I'm going to be releasing a little bit later. It'll be out, Botanical, bro. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. But now, all this does is make Bitcoin more obtainable. Remember, the lower these prices go, if you're thinking long term, the lower, especially if you don't think that the whole bull market is just over because we get a slight pullback, right? Remember, the lower it goes, the easier it becomes for you to obtain. All right. How many dip buyers do we got in the house tonight? I know it ain't that many. Today. I know it ain't that many people on the live yet, but how many dip buyers we got in the crowd? Thumbs up if you buying the dip. Thumbs up if you buying the dip in this most recent market that we're in, right? Not always, but in this most recent market that we're in, if you a dip buyer, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Brother Sam Harris, what's going on, big homie? Give me a thumbs up if you a dip buyer. Let me see where my dip buyers at. All right, Mo. Mo said $1 a day, Bitcoin. Good shit. Good shit. Okay, we got some dip buyers in the house. We got some dip buyers in the house. If you're just tapping in, if you're just tuning in, if you are a dip buyer, right? If your outlook is over the next couple of, especially within this market, over the next couple of months, a continuation of an uptrend, you're buying the dip, so you can take advantage of that uptrend. Let me get a thumbs up. Let me get a thumbs up. Let me see where y'all at. Dr. Tony with 4 thumbs up. Cosmic Crypto said, I'll push it a shovel in. I love it. All you do is coming out with more gold every time you put. Hey, look, when prices go down and you stick your shovel in the ground, you're able to accumulate more of Bitcoin round, right? More of the coinies, more of the biddies. All right. Good to see we got everybody in here buying the dip. Those that understand what's going on. Those that know what they got right here in front of them. Now, what we want to take a look at, though, is how extensive could this dip get? Or how extensive can this dip be? Right? That's what we want to take a look at here. Now, what I want to start off with is the total crypto market cap. We haven't taken a look at this in a while on the live. Coinbase is delaying my transaction. Is there an exchange that doesn't ask for ID verification and is more efficient than Coinbase? Nah, I'm going to be honest with y'all, right? One thing y'all got to understand, right, is anytime you're using a, what do I want to call it? A public tool, right? Credit card, debit card, wire, bank transfers and things of that nature. They are going to ask you to identify yourself, right? Any and every time. Ms. Yellowbone, what's going on, Queen? Did you receive the book? I don't know if I told you to check your email after I sent it. Peace to the guys, bar none. What's going on? So now, what do we got here, right? What do we got here? What are we looking at? What are we looking at? So this is what I got for you. This is what I got for you. Looking at the total crypto market cap, which had a swing high of $3.73 trillion and a swing low of $2.31 trillion, right? We've been able to first take out our first golden ratio, right? We've been able to take out our first golden pocket. Now, what transpired after that was a run after we broke our previous high here, right? Remember, first obstacle is take out your first golden pocket. Second obstacle, take out your previous high, right? Once you take out that first golden pocket, take out your previous high. Normally, once you're taking out your previous high, you can get a run to the bottom of the golden ratio, the middle of the golden ratio. Well, no, bottom of the second golden pocket, middle of the second golden pocket, or the top of the second golden pocket before you have a pullback, right? So in this case, we had a run up to the bottom of the second golden pocket, to which now we're having a pullback. But I mean, it's expected. It's expected, right? We've got a pretty good uptrend going. Pullbacks, right now are healthy. Last pullback we had was 15%. As of right now, where we at? We're only at 11% right now. We're only around 11% right now. So we can have a much deeper retracement. We can have a much deeper retracement. If we were to reverse things, right, and take a look at a swing low to a swing high, if this is going to be our high, we're already taking out our 23.6. What does that mean? We can come down and bounce either off the top, the mid, or the bottom of the first golden pocket once again, right? So now what you're looking at is, if we're unable to hold support here, right, you're looking for a move south beginning here. Now, what's interesting about here, right, what I find interesting is the previous high here, because price normally likes to come back and retest its previous breakout areas. That would be us coming back, making a higher low around $3.46 trillion, and then bouncing from there. So it would possibly look something like this, right? If that's what's happening, this is what we'd be looking for, right? Something like that. Pull back. Now, the pullback can come at the 382. It can come at the 50. It could come at the 618. You know what I mean? It could come at any one of these levels. All right? 382, 50, 618. All right? Hey, I love cheap Bitcoin too, Chicago educated. I love cheap Bitcoin. Love cheap Bitcoin. You got to. You got to if you understand what's going on in the future of finances. Right? You should. Right? Until proven otherwise. But anyways, if we end up closing weekly below $3.73 trillion, currently trading at $3.71 trillion, I will look for a possibility of a pullback to $3.46 trillion, right? Now, we do have a chance of this being a bull trap, and if we recover $3.73 trillion on the next weekly candlestick, I will invalidate that move to $3.46 trillion. But if we are unable to recapture $3.73 trillion as support, then I have no other choice than to look at $3.46 trillion, possibly 3.24, and then 3 trillion, roughly 3 trillion psychological level once again. But I'm betting a lot on this previous high, and it could be anywhere from the closing, right, as far as where we get our stability from, somewhere around this area right here, right? Or we'll even it'll be a buying opportunity, right? Somewhere in this area right here. Hold on, let me show you. Right up in there. See where that green area is? Right up in here. This is where I'm hoping we get the bounce at. Right around here. All right. Now, what does this mean for actual price? Well, let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. Let me see. What chart do I want to screw up here? Oh, no. We ain't got to screw one up. Here we go. All right. So Bitcoin is already taken out. It's 23.6 at $112,500. What did I tell y'all about that level? If we lose that level, what will you then look at? 105,240. Where we at right now? 108. On our way to 105. Right? We talked about this on the last live. Right? I like that. Financial Kutba. I like that. What time is it? Oh, yeah, dang. Yeah. I'm going to read the Quran after this. Give me a couple of surahs in. Juma Mubarak. Islam. Happy Friday, everybody. But yeah, with Bitcoin, right? As long as you're closing weekly candlesticks below this red line right here, I have no other choice than to look at the next golden line as the next possible target to the downside. Remember, once you break the 23.6, it sets you up with a possibility of 3 lower price targets. Those 3 lower price targets are the 382, the 50, and the 618, right? That means what we are doing is that we're expecting price to possibly bounce here, here, or here, and continue in the original direction of the trend. As of right now, I'm putting my money on around $105,000. As of right now, we just got a fresh bar of negative momentum to the downside, fresh, brand new, right? And we'll look to see if we can find exhaustion somewhere around that $105,000 level from where we currently stand. All right. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Because I know for a fact it's probably blocking me. I think I'm shadow banned on Instagram, probably YouTube too, just to be honest. Should be way more people here. Where's all the supporters? Let me see. Send a quick link out. Just let people know that I am live. Just let the people know that I am live. There we go. You say definitely on IG, huh? Yeah, they like to block the real information. All the while the scammers get through scot-free, you know? Young Shizzle said, I don't even get notifications. Wow. And I'm not even talking any type of blasphemous stuff. I just come on here, look at charts, read a couple of stories, right? And then keep it pushing. Now, if we lose 105,000, you're looking at around $100,000, $99,360, but around $100,000 psychological level. Might get a possible double bottom here, but then it might set you up for a head and shoulders where you can have a left shoulder head, come down, bounce up, make a right shoulder, and then come down, and then fulfill that. Let me see if it was a play of head and shoulders. Let me see, what would it look like though? Neckline will be about right. Wait, hold on. Where does that go down to? No, neckline is right there. So that'll take us what? Down to about 78, almost $80,000. So some of y'all saying y'all don't get notifications anywhere, huh? That's crazy. That's crazy. You ain't getting no notifications. You would at least have 70 plus right now. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I've never let the low view count stop me from going live over the last what? I've been going live since 2017, and I've never really averaged anywhere near 100 viewers in the past what 8 years. 8 years I've been going live, almost 9 years. I've never averaged almost 100 viewers. It's normally somewhere between 10 and maybe 40 or 50. Once again, like I said, going live since 2017 with what I think is some of the best information. Right? Nonetheless, while the market dips, right? While the market dips, Dutch crypto firm Amdax targets a 1% Bitcoin supply with a $23 million treasury launch. Right? The target is 1%. They're launching with $23 million. Right? Let me ask you this. How many of you out there are looking to or have already launched your Bitcoin reserve? I've been rocking with you since 2019, always giving value. I appreciate that, Brady K. I appreciate the love and I appreciate the support. Miss Keish, what's going on? Can't stop, won't stop. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Ain't no stopping this train. It really ain't nothing that's gonna stop me on my journey. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Ain't too much gonna stop me on my journey. I have to be stopped because I ain't stopping myself. Understand that. But anyways, right? Dutch crypto firm has raised $23.3 million to launch Ambits, a Bitcoin treasury company aiming to list on Amsterdam's Euronext and accumulate 1% of all the Bitcoin. Do y'all see what they're doing? Y'all understand the play that's been placed in front of you? Everybody's looking at this as the trade when this is the age of accumulation. AOA, right? We're in the age of accumulation, everybody. This is the gold rush. You can buy it and sell it if you want. And then 10, 20 years from now, it'd be worth 10, 20 times what it is. Or you can play the accumulation game. Remember, $1 a day keeps poverty away. Stop looking at next week. Stop looking at, oh, can I make some money for Christmas? Stop looking at, oh, can I make some money for my birthday? No, stop looking at that. Start thinking about generational wealth. You got a different mind state when you think like that. Okay? You helping us to make sense of all this shit. Yeah, that's all, and that's my main goal. That's what I feel that I was ordained, for lack of a better term, to do. Right? Once I made that decision to really change my life and kind of quit the bullshit, it was like, all right, well, you're gonna teach then. Right? You want a second chance? You're gonna teach. You're gonna teach and you're gonna guide and you're gonna help. So that's why I'm here. Right? Now the story goes on to state that Dutch cryptocurrency service provider Amdex raised 20 million euros, which is about $23.3 million, to launch a Bitcoin treasury company on Amsterdam's Euronext stock exchange. Once again, how many of you out there are planning to have already launched your own family treasury or own family reserve? Exactly. It's not about the dollar amount. It's all about the coin count. You are OG. Been doing $10 a day for the last 2 months or so. Gonna go as long as I can. Hey, that's the shit. $10 a day, you really making a difference. You really making a difference. What's going on, Miss Brianna? Peace, peace, peace. She said she has never sold, even when I was discouraged. And that's the thing, right? When you get discouraged, that's the time to really, it's almost like conquering the fear, right? When prices is dumping and you're seeing your money lose money, that's when you really got to turn up in the courage department. You really got to turn up and press that buy button, right? Not blindly. And I'm not speaking on everything, right? What's a family reserve? A family reserve is a strategic Bitcoin reserve that you and your loved ones, brother, sister, mother, father, children, if they're of age, old enough and working. You can start with, cousins after that, aunt, uncles, but where you all accumulate Bitcoin for the longevity of your last name, right? Always remember, y'all, this is not a trade, yo. This ain't something for you to just make some money off of real quick. This is a generational shift, a generational move. Stop thinking about you and think about those that come after you. If you think about that, right? If you got a last name and you want that last name to be of those that have an easier way of living in the years to come, especially after you gone, then one of your focuses should be being able to create and grow a family Bitcoin treasury. Now, does that mean that you don't interact with the rest of the space? No, you can interact with the rest of the space, but always remember, you use the small fish to catch the big fish, right? You want as much gold, digital gold, as possible. Everything else is a vehicle for you to get more digital gold, in my humble opinion. Always remember this, and let me put this out there now. This is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Please don't take this as any type of financial advice. These are my opinions and my opinions alone. Any and everything that I'm telling y'all could be 100% wrong. Please always go do your own due diligence. Check out your own information. All right? Family, if you can, please share this out with family and friends too. Family and friends. They need to hear this information because it's different from what they're getting if they just go on YouTube and search. Listen to the average podcast, right? This is different, right? I'm trying to put money in your pockets, not take money out of it. Okay? Understand that. Anyways, it goes on to state that them putting that 23 million up follows an announcement earlier this month that it would launch the treasury as an independent, privately held company with its own governance. Ambits. Ambits is being created to eventually accumulate, Ambits is being created to eventually accumulate at least 1% of all Bitcoin that will ever be created, or about 210,000 Bitcoin. So y'all see what they're saying, right? Their goal is 210,000 Bitcoin. Now, big shout out to everybody that's part of the Buy Like Mike Club. Big shout out to everybody that's part of the Buy Like Mike Club. We've already been accumulating as a collective, the biddies, right? Now we're looking at them wanting 210,000 shares of BTC. Now, Of course, we don't have the capital to get that, but if they're getting 210,000, right? Why can't you get 210,000 Satoshis? Huh? It's only $228. For you to get a percentage of the Bitcoin network is only $228. They're buying 210,000 Bitcoin. You buy 210,000 Satoshis. It's only $228. Guarantee you in 4 years, 210,000 Satoshis may be more than $228. I just put my boy on your info last night. It felt good. I didn't realize how knowledgeable I really am now. Appreciate you. And now I appreciate you for tapping in and tuning in and taking the information and internalizing it. And that's what I want y'all to understand. For those of you that listen to this information, you may think that you're a beginner, but go out in the world and talk to some people. Just talk to the average. You ain't even got to, I'm going to go look for somebody that's dumb. No. Go out in the world, right? That's what I want everybody to test. Test your knowledge. Test your knowledge in Bitcoin. Go out in the world and go around somebody that you may look up to that may be in a better financial position than yourself. Somebody that you may think have the ups on you in the education department, right? And just start talking about what you speak on, what you know within this space, and see how far ahead of the rest of society you really are. I told y'all 7, 8 years ago, I was going to get you ahead of the rest of society by at least 5 to 10 years. I told y'all this. Where do I buy Satoshis? Satoshis is just a small denomination of BTC, a small denomination. If you buy $228 worth of Bitcoin right now, you're going to get 210,000 Satoshis. What that is 0.00210 of BTC. That's all it is. Blockchain department said I buy every moon day and during dips. Hey, we got the legendary Ben Gordon in the house. What's going on, BG? Twin, what's going on? Legendary Bulls player, Chicago Bulls, big shout out. He is in the building getting the good crypto gospel on this Friday. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. What's going on, Miss Connolly? Yep, the mythic, the crypto financial mastermind. Love, honor, and respect. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, like, look, if it only costs $228 to get 210,000 Satoshis, right? As a collective, we should be able to get, we should be able to get 2,100,000 Satoshis. That's only $2,280. Hey, look, for you to get a percentage of the network, the Bitcoin network, right? For us to get a percentage of the Bitcoin network, they're buying 210,000 Bitcoin. We can buy 2,100,000 or 2.1 million Satoshis for $2,280. It's not hard to do when you do it as a collective. Brother Michael, what's going on? Salute. Peace, peace, peace. What you got going on this Friday, Brother Michael? Say you just cool and riding your bike listening to the gems. I appreciate that. Hey, let me know where you. I gotta go get me a bike. I just seen some Schwinns for sale. I was gonna buy them. It was 2 of them. Should go get them. Hit my line. Let me know where you be biking at. I'm gonna try to come bike with you one day. But yeah, as a collective, right? Buy like Mike, right? Or buy like Ambit, right? Let's set a goal. Why not set a goal for you and your family, right? That you're gonna accumulate 2.1 Bitcoin. Set a goal for you and your family that you're going to accumulate 2.1 Bitcoin. Let me show you something real quick. Hold on. Let's crunch some numbers real quick. Let's go ahead and crunch. Let's do Bitcoin. Let's do 17. January up until now. All right. If you just did $1 a day from 2017 up until now, right? Just $1 a day. You've only would have spent $3,104, but you would have ended up right now $1 a day with $39,845. Okay. Now the dollar amount is not so much what we want to, pay attention to, right? This is what you want to pay attention to. The fact that $3,000 got you 37,436,000 Satoshis. That's what I want you to pay attention to, right? Once again, always remember the model, yo. $1 a day keeps poverty away. You can't invest today and think you're going to get rich by next week. Especially for my younger crowd out there. If you're still in your 20s, if you're still at like a dub or something like that, right? If you're still a dub, under the dirty 30, think of it like this. If you're 25, right? If you're 25 years old, you can't wait till you're 35 or not wait. Let's just say you're going to turn 35 regardless if you wait or not, right? You wouldn't want to put yourself in a better financial position at the age of 35? AD, what's the word? I think that's AD. Shake and Bake Chicago 773. What you on, guy? You at the spot? Let me know if you're around the way. But nah, think about it, yo. If you're 35, right? If you're 35, you don't have an outlook of being 45 one day and putting yourself in a better position, a better financial position. So for those that are, let's see, that was 2017. So those are the 33, 35, right? If you would have been doing $1 a day since you was 20, what is that, 23? Right? 23, 24, 25. If you were doing $1 a day, if you was doing $1 a day, right? Right now, you just say just with the dollar. This ain't got nothing to do with none other of your savings, y'all. Think about it like this as well. Think about it like this. I keep telling y'all, this technology that we have in front of us is a long-term savings technology. It has the ability to increase your net worth, meaning it frees up your time and energy. Because remember what money is. I taught this to my young boys out here in Chicago. Money is time and energy transferred into a vehicle. The thing is, we've been taught to put it into the wrong vehicle, right? We've been taught to put it into dollar bills, which that vehicle is going downhill, right? Now, those that were more knowledgeable about how money works, they put that time and energy into things like real estate, stocks, bonds, because over X amount of time, it has the ability to increase what that time and energy was worth versus decrease what that time and energy was worth. If you don't understand how the dollar works, you need to figure it out. The dollar decreases. Let me show you something. Dollar value from, let's do 1930 to present. Here we go. So I want y'all to look over here, right? Over here on the right-hand side for those on YouTube. Look at $1 in 1930 adjusted for inflation. Look at that. $1 used to be able to buy you what we spend $20 on today. Once again, $1 so if you save the dollar from 1930, that motherfucker don't buy you 10% of what you used to be able to get for it. You get what I'm saying? Now look at the buying power of the dollar. Your buying power just goes down and down and down. Always remember, y'all, it's not about how many dollars you have. It's about what your purchasing power is worth. How much purchasing power are you worth? It's not about how many dollars you have. Dollars are just a denomination that we use to measure your purchasing power. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of these podcasts and shit ain't telling y'all this. A lot of these other YouTube channels ain't telling y'all this. Dollars are just a denomination that we use to measure your purchasing power. It is not the vehicle that you want to hold your purchasing power in, right? Because you're losing that power, right? Let me show you another example. No. That ain't it. Let me see. What is it? BTC versus house. Bitcoin inflation, price of housing in Bitcoin. Here we go. This is decent. So this is the price of a typical house in Bitcoin versus fiat, right? Let's say you were saving in 2015 for a house, right? In 2015, if you were looking at houses and you're like, oh, okay, man, regular house right now about $168,000, $170,000, right? You're like houses around $175,000, right? That's how much a typical house is right now, 170, 175. You're like, all right, we're gonna save, over the next 10 years, to get us a house. That's not too bad, 5 or 10 years, right? 5 or 10 years. Now, at the same time, it was 403.841 Bitcoin. So 400 Bitcoin. It was 400 Bitcoin to buy that same house at $170,000, right? Now, as time goes on, we can see that the value that house is worth in Bitcoin dropped, right? The value of that house in fiat rose, right? So if you're saving in dollars versus saving in Bitcoin, the value of the house that you're saving for is appreciating, right? So now, if you weren't able to double that $160,000, $170,000 in 10 years, you're not going to get that house because now that house costs double, and now that's the minimum. You doubled 170 over the last 10 years. It has nothing to do with any other investment, but now it's double the amount you need. While in Bitcoin, right? Morel Hughes said, I appreciate you, Bully. I bought 2 courses last weekend on Bitcoin yield, intro, and XRP ledger. A lot of gems in those. And now you understand why I do the classes that I do. I don't do the classes to suck money out of y'all pockets. I do the classes for the main reason of being able to bring that information and just get compensated for the time that it takes for me to study, spend my money, learn how to use it, and then bring the information to you. It's really for R&D, research and development. In fact, I need to actually get create a nonprofit for research and development, because that's where the money goes to, right? If anybody's ever been in my classes, I invest money in every single class, and it's not $20, $30. It's $200, $300, $500, $1,000 in every class, right? But anyways, I appreciate the support, brother. In fact, what we're gonna do, let me see. We're gonna do it's Financial Fridays. What we are going to do, we are going to put a 44% discount today on everything on the website. Last night's class, which was very high level. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was high level. It was on options and futures trading, very high level. Last night's class will be available on the website. But everything right now is at a 44% discount, and you're going to use the code SAVE, S-A-V-E. All right? You're going to use the code SAVE. So you can go to blockwallstreet.io, right? Here we go. blockwallstreet.io. And you're going to use the code SAVE in order to cash out on a 44% discount on any classes that you want. All right? That's block, not black. blockwallstreet.io. All right. I appreciate the support, my brother. Now, once again, back to the example, right? So it's double the amount of dollars you need in order to buy that purchase that same house. You know how much it is in Bitcoin right now? 3.8 Bitcoin. You went from, just think of it in dollar amounts. If it's too hard for you to comprehend, think of it like this. It cost you $400 to buy something 10 years ago. Now it costs you $3. Think about that. Versus it cost you $168,000 to buy you something 10 years ago. Now it costs you $327,000. Think about that. Bitcoin is the long-term savings account. It is the protector and the grower of your purchasing power. You get what I mean? Let Mike say it. They got the drill version of Dirty Diana. I love it. But anyways, Bitcoin, digital gold, long-term savings account technology. Stop looking at it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put it out there right now. Everything else is an investment to me. Bitcoin is long-term savings technology. Everything else is an investment. Understand that. In fact, think of it like this. My gold and my silver is how I stay level with purchasing power. Bitcoin is how I grow that purchasing power at an exponential rate. Everything else outside of my gold, my silver, and my Bitcoin is an investment. Everything. Ethereum, Solanas, XRPs, XLMs, real estate, land. Well, not land. Land ain't an investment. Land is an essential. You can look at land as an investment, but I would look at land as an essential. Okay? And I've already showed y'all how to buy land off the blockchain that you can own and do with it as you will, and how to sell land on the blockchain and get an upfront loan. Right? For anybody out there that's within earshot, if you have land, if you own land and you own the deed to that land, I can show you how to get an upfront loan with very little red tape. Reach out to me. Right? And we can go and see what we can get a ballpark of what that loan may be, depending on the value of the land. All right. But anyways, y'all get the idea, man. They're looking to buy 210,000 Bitcoin. Scoop up 1% of the supply. Why can't we scoop up a small percentage? Huh? Why can't we scoop up a small percentage? Remember, the goal is 2.1 Bitcoin, but you can start with 210,000 Satoshis. That's only $228. Or you can start with 2.1 million Satoshis. That's only $2,280. Or you can start with 21 million Satoshis. That's only $22,800. We spent more money on less in this world. Think about it. You spent more on less in your life. I want you to think about that. You spent more on less in your life before. Why not spend it on more? Do you have suggestions about taxes on crypto? Get a CPA. Get you a tax advisor. They do have crypto platforms that can scan your wallet and they'll evaluate what you owe in taxes. But get you a professional though. Just read MetaMask stablecoin MUSD is releasing this year. Beautiful, Soul City. Beautiful intel. All right, moving right along. Trump family expands the crypto empire with a $6.4 billion venture. How many of you are expanding your crypto empire with a $640 launch? $6,400 launch. Huh? Even a $64 launch. Remember, you don't have to have the amount of money these other individuals have. It just means that they're able to acquire more shares. But think of it like this. Think about how many more shares you're able to acquire versus those that know absolutely nothing about this space or choose to ignore this space. That's what I want y'all to always remember. Y'all are ahead of the... No matter how much money you're putting in it, $64, $640, $6,400, $64,000, you're front running the rest of the world still. You get what I'm saying? You have over 200 acres. You need to book a consultation, history and fitness. You need to book a consultation. Go to my website, blockwallstreet.io. I look forward to hear from you. Go to consultations, right? And book an hour consultation. Would you say it's okay to hold wrap Bitcoin? I'll hold wrap Bitcoin. I hold a lot of Bitcoin derivatives. Wrap Bitcoin, CBBTC, BTCB. I own a lot of different Bitcoin derivatives, to be honest with you, just to keep it a buck. Right? Send an email to blockwallstreetwork@proton.me, OPM. That's BLOCKWALLSTREETWORK@PROTON.me. You know it, Keish. I'm glad y'all receiving the information. Now, also look at this. A Solana treasury firm and DeFi development firm Purchases 407,247 sold following the equity raise. Y'all, they coming for this. Man, I don't see why we don't get it yet. I don't see why we don't get it yet. Let me see. What did they just snatch up? 407,247. 407,247. 407,247. So they just grabbed up 82,524,532 Solana tokens. DeFi Development Corp with the ticker DFDV has purchased 77 million. Now it's worth more. Hey, when they released the story, it was 77 million. Now it's 82 million. So they're already up on their position. Just a little bit, but they're not worried about that, right? They're not worried about that. You get what I'm saying? They want more Solana. If anything, they want more Solana. All right? Look at this. And they're looking to earn. The newly acquired SOL will be held long-term and staked to a variety of validators, including DeFi Dev Corp's own Solana validator to generate native yield. What do I show y'all in every single class we do? For those of you that have been able to acquire a new form of wealth from taking my classes or just from listening to the information, let me get a thumbs up, right? For those of you that have been able to internalize and utilize the information that I've been sharing with y'all, no fluff, no bullshit, just straight, raw, uncut. Look, this is what it is. Take it or leave it. If it's helped you in any way, shape, or form from a financial standpoint, let me get a thumbs up. Let me get a thumbs up while we rewind the tape. Rewind the tape and light my weed. I like this. I see a lot of lives changed in this lab tonight. I see a lot of lives being changed in this lab tonight. I see a lot of lives being changed in this lab tonight. Once again, if the information I've been sharing or the classes that you've been taking have been able to change the future of your financial life, let me get a thumbs up. If you're in a better financial position than you were before you took the classes or before you got the information, let me get a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Happy Holy Day, more. Happy Holy Day. Now, look at this. We just had a class. Hey, look. I literally just did a class. Just did a class where we covered Mantle and all the meth. Right? For my meth heads out there, y'all know what I'm talking about, that M-ETH. Right? For all my meth heads out there, you know what I'm talking about, that M-ETH. We just had a class on Mantle, right? And they secured the top spot in DeFi treasuries at 4 billion plus Uniswap coming in second. Huh? I keep telling y'all I'm gonna put y'all in the best position you could be in this new money matrix that we entering into. There it is. So if you want to go get you some meth, right? If you want to go get you some meth, and I ain't talking about the drug, right? If you want to go get you some meth, this is the class you want right here. This the class you want right here. If you want to accumulate more Ethereum for the long term, this the class you want. And right now, all classes are 44% off using the code SAVE, S-A-V-E. Using the code SAVE, you can get the class at 44% discount. Now, if you want to grow your biddies, you want to grow the Bitcoin, this is the class for you. The road to freedom is paved in Bitcoin yield. Because it's one thing for you to be able to, Miss Razzle, what's going on, Queen? Hey, look, I look forward to 420 weekend or weekday, whatever it's going to be, Colorado this year. I look forward to it, okay? In fact, if you're putting it together, let's go ahead and put that together right now. Let's get the tickets together. Let's get the lodging together. I'm looking forward to 420 Colorado 2026. Let's go ahead and put it together right now.
Yeah, so I like this one.
Now, if you don't know what Mantle is or meth, let me see. Hold on. Here we go, right here. This your meth right here. Hey, I ain't never been so happy to be able to deal with meth and not have to get messed with by the police, yo. You know what I'm saying? Meth carry a lot of time, but not this meth. You can play with this all day. You're not going to get raided. You're not going to get no wiretaps. Well, I don't know. We're dealing with digital finance, so they may want to wiretap. You know what? This may be the new war on drugs. You know what? You know what just got downloaded to me right now as I'm looking at this, right? Remember choke point 2.2.0. Remember the choke point. Remember they was choking the banks, closing the banks. The battle on DeFi is the new battle on drugs. They want to take your freedom. If you really think about it, right? Think about it like this. Now, I really hate to be going down this lane sometimes, but it's the truth, though. If you look at the drug game, however you want to look at it, at the end of the day, it's really, if you look at coca leaves, poppy plants, marijuana, right? Those ain't nothing but herbs and plants, right? Those are part of what used to be the trade routes that, in all actuality, a lot of the Muslims used to run, right? Now, when the Crusades came through and they took those over, those descendants of those that ran the Crusades are today the ones that created the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, right? Firearms wasn't nothing but a way for you to protect yourself in the wild. Tobacco wasn't nothing but a plant. Alcohol wasn't nothing but you created yourself. So they've taken over those routes and created an institution and a jurisdiction around it in order to obtain it and regulate it. They're trying to do the same thing right now with DeFi and blockchain. It's the same old game. You get what I'm saying? Anyways, head got hot. My head got hot with that. But nah, it's the same game, Joe. The war on DeFi is like the war on drugs. It's bullshit. At the end of the day, drugs fund America. But yeah, we're going to leave all that alone. We're going to get back into the charts, get back into the crypto. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how ETH is currently performing as we look at this most current pullback in the market. All right. All right. So ETH, what am I looking for on ETH? I've already had it platted out for y'all. We reached our second golden pocket, retraced at the $4,800 level, right? I've called this the new digital crack era for a while. 100%. Hey, 100%. In fact, I got old posts from 2017 where I was comparing Bitcoin to crack. Because to me, back in 2017, the shit was like having crack and nobody knowing about it. Like, damn, I got crack that only a certain amount of people know about and want, but the rest of the people don't even know that it's crack flowing through the streets right now. That's how I was looking at the shit. Just to keep it a buck. Anyways. As of right now, Ethereum, my eyes are somewhere between $38,000 to $4,000 as far as a pullback. Currently trading at 4,300, right? We reached our 48.5 target, pulled back from there. Now I'm looking at it somewhere between $3,800 to $4,100 as a possibility of a target before we look for a bounce, right? That's what we're looking at. That's what I'm looking at. Let me keep it on the eye. Remember, this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. So let me keep it on the eye. Now, in the past 24 hours, we've had a surge And this is why you never buy the pump, y'all. Never. I'm probably going to go short this. Never, ever, ever buy the pump. This is PIFE. But I did tell y'all that you did have bullish divergence, right? Swing low to swing low. You got a higher low in the RSI. Swing low, you got a lower low on the price. That's class A bullish divergence. It gives you the run. You latch on to the 23.6 right here, find your support, and then you launch from there. But anybody could have played this not knowing it's going to give you the return that it gave you. But nobody should be buying this. Look, this is the thing, right? Look at this like a moving locomotive, all right? Look at this like a moving locomotive. Would you jump on a train if it was moving fast as fuck? No. You'd wait for it to pull back to the station, pick up all the smart money, and then advance forward further. DJ Sean Don, what's going on, big homie? What you got going on? Peace, peace, peace. I thought you was going to slide on me that day you was at the lake. How you feeling? So now, what I'm looking at doing, because you got a lot of different options other than PIFE, right? I'm thinking I'm gonna hold an upcoming class. I'm gonna be looking out for your call, Miss Dazzy. I'm gonna be holding the upcoming class, right? Hey, good move. Damn good move, my friend. Damn good move. I'm gonna be looking at holding the upcoming class on the top Oracle systems. Because y'all need to understand the different categories that's in this space. A lot of y'all just buying coins to buy coins. You don't understand that there's a genre to this sector, right? You got lending and borrowing. You got options. You got Oracle systems. You got layer 1s, layer 2s, layer 3s, app chains. Remember this and always remember this. I'm not teaching y'all how to invest. I'm teaching y'all how to use new technology. Always remember that. This is not about investing. This is about being able to use the financial technology of the future. That's why I say a lot of what I do is research and development. It's not investing. The thing is, I have to put capital in order to see how to utilize it. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all, I gotta get gone. I was supposed to been gone to Jumu'ah service. Not gonna make it. What I'm gonna do is go in my prayer room, read a couple surahs out the Quran. You think you all on your deen, and I ain't on, man. Classic bar from Beanie Siegel. But nah, I appreciate everybody that was able to tap in, tune in, get some gems out of today's show. If you was able to take notes, I appreciate you. Nah, there's a lot of different oracles that got good potential. And you know that. A lot of different oracles. But nah, be on the lookout for the next live. Once again, everything on the website right now, 44% off using the code SAVE, S-A-V-E, blockwallstreet.io. If you want to just get a quick glance, right? I'm going to tell you some of the top ones. Definitely decentralized options for crypto. That's high level. That should be 150 actually. That should be 150. I gotta go in there and change that price. That should actually be 150. But you definitely want to get the Solana. If you don't have Solana, you don't understand the technology. Get the Solana introduction. If you don't understand the base technology, get the base introduction. If you don't understand the SUI technology, get the SUI introduction. Get these introductions. If you are ISO 222 head, but you don't understand it, get the introduction. Part 1, Part 2. Unichain is going to be doing an airdrop. Unichain has an upcoming airdrop. I'm still supplying liquidity on Unichain. You want to be part of an airdrop? Possible airdrop, but I'm pretty sure they're doing an airdrop. Get the Unichain class. Everything 44% off. Self-banking. Learn how to self-bank. If you want to set up a trust, the easiest trust you're going to set up is 44% off today. Okay? Take advantage, y'all. This information ain't going to be here forever. I ain't going to be here forever. Take advantage of the information. I'm only here to help. This information is only here to help. Comprehension before compensation. The payout you get is education. I want y'all to walk away with that. Comprehension before compensation. Because you come over here trying to get compensated and don't have a comprehension of what you're doing, you're going to lose that compensation. So comprehension before compensation. The major payout is going to be the education. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Until the next one, I love you all. Peace, power, and prosperity, family. I'm gone.